Hi, Valley Fourth Church. Welcome to our Community Connection. I'm Pastor Josh, joined today by Rebbecca Bolster, talking about Operation Christmas Child today. Excited about that ministry starting up, and so we'll just get right into it. First of all, some of our listeners may not have met you or had a chance to meet you yet. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. My name's Rebbecca Bolster. We've been coming to this church for several years now. I don't know how many. We've added to our family quite significantly, so we now have 4 children, 3 girls and a little boy, 7 months old. Yeah, that's us. We just love our family.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we're so glad to have you here, and that little boy sure is cute. So you've been involved with the Christmas Child, Operation Christmas Child boxes for a while. Yes. How did you first kind of get involved with this?
I was asking my mom, because I'm like, we've done it since I was a child. Oh. How did we first got into this? And she couldn't remember either. So I'm sure it was through some Awana or church or something. But we have been doing it since I was a teenager, more and less over the years. And then I took over here a couple of years ago as the project leader of this church. And so we've had huge packing parties and just an amazing time with it.
Good. Awesome. Well, many of you, I'm sure, have packed the boxes. We've done these for a number of years. But in case you haven't, why don't you tell us, we had a sample here, tell us what a box would typically have in it.
Absolutely. So first off, we do have every of the boxes that I hand out, I usually put one of these flyers in, and it gives you some kind of cheat info, like these are good things, these are bad things. So it has a brief overview, but there are basically 3 key areas of things we want to put in. We want to have hygiene products, we want to have school supplies, and we want to have fun stuff. It's a gift. Then the children only do get 1 shoebox in their life, so we don't want to have little garbage in it. We want it to be full of love and showing Jesus's love through it. So hygiene items, we have things like a comb, we have soap, this is just a cute, adorable, scrubby hair stuff, all that kind of thing. And then school supplies. A lot of these children aren't able to go to school if they don't have school supplies. So that is a very important thing for us to put in. This just has pens and pencils. If you're sending pencils, they need a pencil sharpener. That's a key thing that's forgotten. And then age appropriate, we have the 3 different age groups. So you can do a 2 to 4, a 5 to 9, or a 10 to 13, 14. So, typically we don't put giant scissors in the 2 to 4 box, but it's just use your best judgment. They do have siblings, so we might feel like, oh, hey, they won't use this, but we don't know. God knows who it's going to, so he can direct. I usually put a notebook in so they have writing paper or coloring paper depending on their age. Just kind of think of all the school supplies that you use and your kids use. And then the fun stuff. We want to have a wow item, something that will make them say wow. So wow. I usually do a big, cute stuffy. And these are loved by all the ages and by both genders. It's just a soft, cuddly reminder of love. And then other toys. This one has a puzzle in it, a couple cute animals, all sorts of different things. They're bracelets. You just fill it up with love. And think of children in your lives, whether you have children yourself or your friends or your nieces or whoever, and just fill it up with what you would give them for a gift.
Good. Well, one of the things I know a lot of people are curious about is what happens to the boxes on the other end. When they get delivered, yes. How do they get delivered? What happens on the other end? Can you tell us something about that?
Absolutely. So we pack them here. Ooh, my toy. We pack them here. And then they go to a big distribution warehouse where they divide them into the ages and the categories. Okay. They package them up, and then they ship them out all around the world. And it is $9 for us for our shipping fee. If you calculate where these boxes go and how heavy they are, it's up to $100 to ship them. But they've worked out with Postal Service bulk rates and all sorts of things. So it's $9 to ship it anywhere in the world. And they have gone to over 160 countries over the years. They plan these outreach events a couple years in advance. They work with local churches on the ground and plan the outreach event. They invite the children that will be coming to it. And then they have a huge party, basically. They invite the children, they come, they don't know they're getting a gift. They just come, they hear the gospel. It's the very first thing they do. They go through the gospel message and teach the children. Then, as a tangible piece of God's love, each of the children gets one of these shoebox gifts. And with it, they get a gospel thing called The Greatest Journey in their language that goes with the box. And each of the children receives that. They open their box, they love them, and then they're invited back to a 12-week discipleship program that's called The Greatest Journey. And so they come back 12 weeks and they learn all about Jesus. They learn the gospel message. They learn how to evangelize. That's one of the huge things with this is the multiplication. It's like that one child gets a shoebox and they go and tell their siblings and their parents and their friends. And there have been so many churches planted. There are approximately 1,000 new churches planted every single year from these shoebox gifts, working with the local churches and just spreading out the gospel around the world.
That's pretty cool to think about, just packing one shoebox, could bring the gospel to a child somewhere else in the world. And they might share the gospel with other people, and a church might be planted in their area.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's fascinating to think about.
So exciting.
The ministry that happens. So this isn't just sending toys to kids at Christmas. And don't they sometimes get them at other times of the year too, not just at Christmas occasionally?
Yes, we pack them at Christmas, and it's a big Christmas thing for us, but they get them all year round. Just depends. And that's actually one of the really neat things about Samaritan's Purse shoeboxes is they're able to get into hard-to-reach places because they can present it as a gift. So there are some countries who close off and say, nope, you can't bring the gospel in here. And they're like, okay. And then there's a horrible disaster, like a hurricane or a tsunami, some terrible thing. And they're like, we are a humanitarian group because they are. And they bring in gifts for the children, and they're able to then get the gospel into the country in those kinds of areas and those ways. So we're reaching so many different countries that we shouldn't be allowed to get into.
Yeah. And I remember last year you showed us a video, I think we showed in church, where the boxes from Valley Forth ended up, and I can't remember, where was it that they went to?
That was the Pacific Islands, Kiribati.
Okay.
There's actually a Pacific Island initiative. They're doing a 5-year chunk from 2019, so last year was the first one, through 2023, trying to add 5 years. And they're reaching the under-reached populations, which is like populations that have 3% or less who profess Christ. And the Pacific Islands, their goal is to reach 500,000 children in 1,000 Pacific Islands, and our boxes went last year to the Pacific Islands.
Isn't that cool to think about? Okay, so now we're really interested. Tell us how we can get involved. What do we have to do to be a part of this?
There are so many ways, depending on your physical abilities, your financial abilities, all the different things. You can take a box on Sunday morning. I'll have lots of boxes in the missionary alcove. You can take an empty box home and fill it with your family, pack it up. The most important thing to pack is prayer. You can buy anything you want, but the Lord knows where it's going, and praying over that box for that specific child that He knows, that is the most important thing to pack. But so you pray over it, you pack it, you bring it back, and we'll send it out with all of the other ones. You can, if there's a donation can, like I mentioned before, shipping is $9. So if you don't want to pack, you can't pack, that's fine. You can drop $9 or $18 or however much you want in there, and we will use it to ship the boxes. You can come to the packing party. It is on, November 23rd, I believe. It's the Sunday, the third Sunday in November, whatever one that is. And it'll be right after church over in C1 or 3, or maybe both of them, depending on how spread out we are. So there are lots of different options. It's actually November 22nd.
Okay.
Is that Sunday. Or you can come talk to me, and I can give you other ways you can be involved as well. But those are just the 3 main: pack your own, donate financially, or come to our giant packing party, or do all 3. Like, we're open to lots of boxes.
Yeah, now I know some people have asked me, do I bring stuff to the packing party, or is there stuff there? How does that work?
Yes, you can bring items to the packing party, or if you're not going to make it to the packing party, I'll have a tub out there. You can bring items that we'll just then put out at the packing party. So whatever, really, it's we just want you to be involved and spread the gospel.
Yeah, if you have any questions, certainly let us know. Anything else we forgot that we need to know about the Christmas boxes?
Not that we forgot, but one of the really neat things is they calculate all sorts of statistics, and they say that about every 14 seconds, a child professes Christ through these shoebox things. So we've been sitting here chatting for, 10-ish minutes. That's like 43, 45 kids who have come to Christ just right now.
Wow, that's amazing. Praise the Lord. Well, we hope that you'll get involved. Do you remember how many boxes Valley Forth packed last year?
300 boxes.
300 exactly?
It was like 301 or 2.
301?
Yes.
I bet this year we could do more than 300. That'd be
a
neat goal to see if we could surpass that. So, Thanks for being on the show. Just to
you.
give you guys a couple of heads ups for things that are coming this weekend. It is our missions conference. Starts this Sunday. We have a guest speaker, Dwight Hires, and his wife Sarah. They're with Northern Lights Ministry in Mexico. Dwight's got a special message for us on Sunday. We're really looking forward to that. You won't want to miss that. His wife Sarah has a special presentation for the women that'll happen after Women's Bible Study on Tuesday at 11:45. There will be a lunch included. And so you can go to the women's booth to sign up for that if you're interested in that. Of course, we'll be doing Operation Christmas Child for a while. We'll be talking about that. When is the last day to bring boxes? Is it that same day as the packing party?
That packing party is the best last day.
Okay.
I can take them any other time if you bring them into the church randomly. Yeah. They'll let me know and I'll come pick them up. But that Sunday is the best.
Okay, so let's just plan on Sunday, November 22nd to be the day to have those boxes back, and we'd like to pray over them too, to send them out and see what the Lord's going to do. So hope you'll join us this Sunday. Our worship services are at 9 and 10:30 a.m. and we'll see you then.